Picture it. An arena full of screaming fans. Gymnastics equipment to the right and to the left. Judges waiting to give out the big score. And you standing there right in the middle of it all. You tall, confident, proud. You ready to compete. You wearing a leotard. I have to say, there are some things as a blind woman that I am sad that I cannot see, and there are some things I am glad that I cannot see. Back to you. You're ready to compete. And then the lights flicker and dim and go out. But in some odd twist of fate, the announcer still calls your name. You are expected to compete in the dark. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here today for this TED Talk to equip you with this highly necessary skill that you might just one day need, maybe even today, that you might enroll in a gymnastics competition, get ready to compete, the lights go out, and they still want you to compete in the dark, right? I'm here to help you know how to do that because I know how to do that, and it's an idea worth sharing. So let's go to it. Step 1. Prepare. You have prepared before this competition by doing your strength and flexibility moves, drilling your skills. You've prepared right before you compete by standing on the springboard with your back to the vault, then running down the runway in the opposite direction, counting your steps. You've put some textured tape down on the runway, and your toes now are on that tape right now. You're the perfect distance from the vault. You have prepared. Step 2, visualize. Picture in your mind the perfect vault. You know what? Let's just do that here a second. Okay, everybody, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Come on, join me in the dark. Come on, close your eyes here. Okay, now picture yourself vaulting. Oh my goodness, you're so high. Look at those straight, shapely legs. Oh my goodness, and the pointed toes. You're perfect. All right, open your eyes now, back to reality, okay? All right, so you can picture in your mind what is not true yet in reality. Visualize. Step 3, focus. Focus on what you have to do. Get everything else out of your mind. But focus most especially on your coach. She is standing at the far end of the landing mat, and she is clapping. She is not clapping because she believes in you. Frankly, she may or may not believe in you, okay? She is clapping because she is your beacon in the darkness. You are going to run toward her. You are not going to run that way, nor are you going to run that way. You are going to run straight toward her. Focus on her. Step 4, ignore. Ignore all of the other sounds in the arena. Ignore any doubts that might be slipping into your mind. Ignore, too, the knowledge that that tall, dark, handsome coach has come to see you vault, okay? Please ignore those thoughts. Please, come on, you have to, because listen, if you think about him, all the hormones will start running through your body, okay? And then you're gonna run too hard, and you're gonna jump too high, and you're gonna fly right over that vault without ever even touching that baby. And you're gonna do a belly flop on the far side. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not how to gracefully land in that coach's life. So don't do it, okay? You think I'm speaking from experience here? Like I've done that before? Nah, no. Just take my word for it. Don't pay any attention to him. Ignore him. Step 4, rise. Rise up on your toes like this. It is the first step to make you move forward. And remember, your momentum needs to go that way where your coach is, forward. It also puts you just a couple inches closer to heaven. And frankly, if you are vaulting in the dark, you are praying, or you should be praying, and a couple inches closer to heaven certainly won't hurt, okay? So rise. Next step, count. Count your steps. You counted them in your preparation phase. Now you need to count them going toward that vault. Every step is a step toward your goal, so count those steps. Step 7, run. Run. I mean, don't stroll, okay? Don't jog. Run. Run hard. Run fast. This vault is only going to work if you have immense speed going on. So run. Run like something is chasing you. Run, run, run. Step 8, explode. Explode. This is when the muscles in your legs and the springs in that springboard uncoil at the same time, and you explode upward. All of that forward momentum now goes upward. You need to explode. You are committed to this. Explode like fireworks in the sky. Explode. Step 9, reach. Reach for the vault. It is right there. No one is going to hand that to you. You've got to reach for it. It is right there. It's in your grasp. Reach. Step 10, fly. Fly. Oh, this is my favorite part. For these moments in time, not a single part of your body is touching the earth. You are one with the air around you, and that is it. Fly like an eagle in flight. Fly. Let me leave you dangling there for just a moment before I figure out how the heck to get you to land when you can't even see where you're going. Gymnastics has always been a beautiful joy for me. I loved it. I was one of those girls, you know which girls I'm talking about, who fall in love with the Olympic gymnasts as they flip across the screen. I was one of those, and I begged my parents, please let me take gymnastics classes. And they agreed. And then when my vision started going down, they promptly disagreed. And I was out of gymnastics, probably for my own safety and for the safety of my teammates and for my parents' safety. But back when I was finally in high school and looking at sports again, I realized that there were sports for the blind. And by this time, my vision had gone almost completely. And I found out that gymnastics was one of the sports that I could compete against those with a similar visual acuity. So it would be an even playing field. And isn't that all that we always want, you know, to be able to compete in a fair setting? So I got back involved. And I did all 4 of the events. Floor exercise, beautiful event. There was beautiful music, beautiful moves, and the beautiful truth that you couldn't fall off of a floor. You know, that is always helpful. Then there was the balance beam. It always cracks me up every time an Olympics comes around. And that same announcer in that breathless, dramatic whisper says, remember, the beam is only 4 inches wide, as if it's going to widen or narrow in between each Olympic cycle. But I do have a confession for you. For blind gymnasts, the beam is only 4 inches wide. But it also does sometimes seem only 4 inches long. To explain, many times in practice, I'd be walking along and poof, all of a sudden I'd fall off the end, you know, which is not really the best kind of fall to have. But yeah, my beam routines sometimes had as many falls in them as this arena might have chuckles if you look at the person sitting next to you and picture him or her in that leotard we talked about a few minutes ago. Yeah. Then there were bars. Bars. Oh, I wanted to be so good at bars. I was so bad at bars. Oh, back during my generation, the bars were closer together than they are now. But it didn't matter whether I was on the low bar or the high bar. I swear the other one moved. It always moved. It shimmied. I don't know, maybe it breakdanced. I have no idea, but it definitely moved. So like I'd be on the low bar and swinging up to grab the high one, and it wouldn't be there. So I'd swing back down and swing back up, down, up, down, up, down. And yeah, I think there's a move in the gymnastics code of points named after me called the Nimmer Pendulum swing. I'm pretty sure of that one. But in the big picture, vault was my forte. As an adult, looking back at that crazy teenager, I find it very ironic that the event where you have to hurl yourself down a runway toward an immovable object, punch off of it, fling yourself over it, and land somewhere, who knows where, that was what I did the best. But it actually was, and it actually became, though I didn't know it then, a metaphor for my life. As I went forward through college, time at Purdue for my master's and into my future, I wanted the same things you want. I wanted happiness, I wanted success, I wanted challenge, I wanted acceptance. As a woman with a disability, I wanted a few more things too. I wanted to be known for something other than just the blind lady, something more than just my disability. I wanted to be given a fair chance, not doubted that I couldn't do anything just because I couldn't see. I also wanted to be judged on my own merits, not anybody assuming that I got what I got or attained what I attained because I was blind. All of those things are my reality, all of them. But I kept hurling myself forward, and I eventually hurled myself right into the public high school classroom. I'm an English and creative writing teacher, and I love it. I love my students. Maddie, one of my students, made the PowerPoint slides that are playing behind me, and actually all of my students give me so much every single day, and I just hope that I give them something daily in return. But back to you, because it dawns on me as I've been strolling down memory lane, you're still up there dangling, aren't you? We've never landed you, okay? You're up there flying, and listen, if you have gotten so much height on your vault that you've still been up in the air this whole time that I've been rambling about my past, you must have been thinking about that tall, dark, handsome coach, or you never would have gotten that kind of spring. But since it is the whole point of this TED Talk to equip you with the skills to be able to vault in the dark, I better get back to it and finish the job at hand here, because you just never know when that task is going to come your way. And after all, to this point, you have never had to vault in the dark. Or have you? Hasn't there been a time when you've needed to prepare long and hard for something that wasn't quite real yet? What about when you needed to visualize something that you wanted to be reality, but it was only in your mind for now? How about when you had to focus on this or ignore that, or rise above this, or count baby steps toward that? What about when you needed to run fast toward a goal, or maybe when you needed to run away from something? How about those moments in your life when you've needed to explode, commit, even though you had no idea how it was going to turn out? Or what about when you needed to reach out, and you just weren't even sure if what you were reaching for would be there? How about flying? Have you ever had the chance to fly? What do I mean by flying? I mean flying, releasing from worry, celebrating, rejoicing, dreaming. Have you ever had the chance to fly? I hope you've had the chance to fly. But you might be thinking, how can you fly when you can't see where to land? How can you fly when you can't see where to land? How can you release, exalt, dream when you can't see how it's going to turn out? Maybe now we're at the real purpose of this TED Talk. How can you fly when you can't see where to land? I ask myself that all the time. I ask myself that daily. I might have asked myself that right before I came out on this stage. But the cool thing is, I know the answer. And the better thing is, you know the answer too. Because how can you fly when you can't see where to land? You'll fly because if you have prepared and visualized and focused and ignored and risen and counted and run and exploded and reached, you will fly. You can fly. You deserve to fly. And then you will land. And how do you know you've had a good landing? You'll know. Because the first thing you'll say to yourself after that landing is, I want to do that again. Thank you.